Namaste guys and welcome back to my channel. I am Divya and I make videos book related. So for today's book review Thursday video, I am going to review this book that is Someone's Story by BELLEC. So the Someone's Story by BELLEC is the story of someone only. Literally the name of the main character is someone. So the main character someone is going through something in his life, and through the journey, through changing town, to changing cities with his dad only, his mother is nowhere to be found. He gets to know about himself a big revelation that he didn't expect or actually didn't expect it at all. So as soon as I started reading this book, the first problem that I had this book was short sentences. There are literally many short sentences, like if this sentence is ending here, then again the same thing is repeated in this very short sentence with just 2 or 3 words. It was kind of irritating for me while reading this, but as soon as it goes on, the sentence actually becomes better, so it matched with the flow. Now the second thing that I didn't like about this book was actually not like but kind of like was about the conversation that the characters had. So the conversation in these books are like a text message conversation, or more appropriately saying like something from a script. How scripts are written, how scripts conversations happen, like writing the name of the character, like someone is speaking to someone and then the dialogue, and if his dad is speaking dad, then a dialogue. It was like someone is writing script, or like how in novels text messages are written. So it was kind of weird for me to read that, but as soon as as soon the story goes on, it actually become quite a good with flow again. So again it did irritate me at sometimes, but yeah, it was not something that big. Another thing that I didn't like was that in the start of the book there were not many descriptions given. I was kind of like confused what was going to happen. Like in the first 2 or 3 chapters, there is this scene when someone, a main character, male lead, is going to his school, and he actually entered in the school and talked to the counselor or whoever there was, receptionist. But I actually gone through again the past 2 or 3 pages to know if he actually went to the school or not, because while I was reading it was nothing mentioned that he was actually going to the school, and suddenly he's in the school and talking to someone. So multiple times it happened that I was like, how the scenes change suddenly. Now there are many other characters in this book also, like I mentioned, his dad, his mom, who is nowhere to be found, and the main characters, main side characters were his friends that he met in after changing schools, after changing the city or town. So they were mainly Erica, Caleb, Georgie, Samantha, his love interest, Ashley, Kevin. So you would know who these characters are by reading this book, and I must tell you, each character has a different story in this book with a different broken family. All have some kind of past in this book, and all have some baggages that they are have hoarding. I really liked how each characters were given their each story and each time to shine, but as again it was kind of become like while reading their school journey, it kind of become boring for me in the middle, as it was all about their love interest, their friends, their family and everything, the school things that usually happens in the book. So yeah, it was kind of becoming boring for me. But as soon as I started reading the ending part, the third half of the book, I was actually kind of like shocked how it ended. So I would highly suggest you, if you're going to read this book, read it to the end. I know I felt that this book might become boring in the middle, but the ending is really good. The twist that the ending had was really good. Now there are some things I would like to mention in this book that might trigger someone, are like drug abuse. There's high drug abuse in this book by these teenagers, and then the second thing is the schizophrenia, and then the third thing is about being in the relationship with someone who is very older than you and having kid and all that things. There is a fight between them, but not that heavy fight, but the outcome was someone broke his bone and like crushed his wrist and etc. So if you get triggered by those points, I would highly suggest you to go through that first and then pick this book up. So if I would recommend this book, yes, I would recommend you to read this book, because being me, as soon as I read the title, that Someone's Story, and by the title only, I thought this was going to be a romance novel with a male or female lead being some kind of suffering from something, like how it happens usually. But the book kind of turned out unique, and again this author is self-published author, and I must say the writing The grammar, the whole format of this book is really good for a self-published author that I have came across. I applaud the author for the good editing of this book. There are many things that have been talked in this book about that are socially related, social cause related, like I have told you, drug abuse. There are some kind of social bullying also in this book. General bullying is of course there in this book, and yeah, due to the diseases, suffering from one lead. So they are all in this book, and they are actually really goodly represented. One thing that I didn't like, of course, was not represented very good for me was the drug abuse in this book, cause how the whole characters friends, they were abusing drug again and again, and they are getting high and everything. Of course, these things happens in the world. These things happens in the foreign, in India, everywhere right now, but it didn't feel it didn't sit right with me reading that no one was there to guide them. So yeah, because they were literally getting high in every other chapter. There was this party scene every other chapter, that they had this kind of friends party only, and they would just drug abuse again and again. So that was kind of like off for me reading. So if you are okay with all of these things, I would recommend you to read this book, as the concept is again unique, and I did like the writing style and everything other as I have mentioned in this book. One more thing that I forgot to mention is that the author do have a YouTube channel. I would put the link in the description box, and he does have some music according to this book and according to characters also. So I will also link that in the description box, so if you want, you can check that out. So do comment in the comment section if you have read this book, what are thoughts about this books, or if you would like to give this book a chance. So goodbye till the next video.